Oh, Victoria Haley. I've worked with Victoria for over 25 years. She is the kindest, most compassionate, caring person probably in our building, with staff and with our students. You know she loves you. We know she cares about us. And she goes out of her way to come see you, to talk to you, and to help in any way that she can. I love Victoria.
Everything with Victoria, it's all about the kids. I can't think of anyone who deserves this as much as her. I mean, when she's asked to do anything, there's never a complaint. She's always positive. She might be covering a classroom, or she might be helping out with the child care. There's really nothing that she won't do.
Miss Haley is, she's a phenomenal person. She's a phenomenal educator. She doesn't have the label of a teacher, but she is definitely a teacher. She not only works with kids on academics, but she also works with kids on social skills, on getting along with others, on just a variety of things. She preaches to them in her way. She has the in-school and out-of-school in-school suspension kiddos, and she builds those relationships that are just phenomenal.
My favorite thing to hear when the kids come back from her room after they've had made a bad decision is, well, I talked to Miss Haley and we've come up with a plan, or I've talked to Miss Haley and I kind of understand now what I did and I'm going to do better. And she works so hard to help the kids be better people, to learn to respect themselves, to respect others, and her passion for the students just exudes, and she is a light as she goes around and talks to everybody. She's never met a stranger, I don't think, and she makes you want to be a better person to be around her.
She will come to basketball games or football games just to see the kids, but even if she thinks that maybe the crowd's really large and we need just an extra staff member just to help out, she does not look for anything in return. She just wants to help. In the past, we've been able to, in a normal year, do our lunch and a movie. She would come almost every day to help out. When we're getting food for some of our struggling families, she's making sure that she's providing that food or giving us names. It's just the way that she does go above and beyond. If we needed somebody to cover a classroom with our new normalcy when we had students in the building, she was the first one to say, I'll cover a classroom, just tell me where.
At the beginning of the year, we had a very ill employee, and she volunteered to actually go into his room and help stabilize that situation and introduce the kids to their school year, because he was not going to be here to do that. And so she took it upon herself to come to teacher training days for the beginning of opening of school. So she volunteered her time to come in and learn what the teacher should do on those first 3 days of school to get the kids acclimated in this new pandemic environment. So she just basically volunteered that time, went in and started the school year. When we were not able to obtain a substitute, she became the substitute for those first 3 to 4 days of school, running that classroom because he was unable to be there. And she set a great learning environment for those kids. And then when we were in a situation where we needed to get a substitute person or temporary hire for that role, she stayed with that person when they came in and transitioned them for the week following, so that it was a very smooth start for the kids at school. She basically assumed a teacher's role and did that beautifully.
It's been a pleasure working here for the kids. I try to see the best in them. If you get an email from me, it'll say at the bottom, plant a seed of hope and watch it blossom, and that's what I do. I live in this community, and so I see the kids often. And sometimes they'll see me, they'll be much older, and they'll say to me, Miss Haley, do you still say them same old things in your world? And I say, yes, I do. I said, because sometimes you have to get at a stop in your life where you listen and you hear the things that I try to say, the positive things. And they're just simply that I believe in you, and I can believe that you can do anything.
Merry Christmas!